Hi there guys, so I'm back with another vlog here today, and today's vlog is going to be interesting because I want to talk about anxiety, the same thing I've been talking about the last few months, but with a slight twist to it. I want to get into the core of things, and I'm going to try to make sense of it the best way I can. So bear in mind, most of my videos I come unprepared, so I don't prepare a script or I don't think ahead, and that's part of my sort of journey in my speech improvement as well. So I want to be able to articulate myself right there on the spot wherever I am, and I want to be able to do that naturally without having sort of anything written down and sort of talking from a teleprompt. So I'm in Tesco. I was here a few days ago, and I like coming in the mornings, like when I'm not working. I can have a nice cup of coffee here, relax and engage in a high quality, a high energy sort of conversation here. So when it comes to anxiety, I believe that a lot of the things are in people's heads, and it's a physiology within the body as well, so an energy. And I remember somebody saying that one time. Hi there. Thank you. Oh no, that's it. Yeah, thank you. So as I was saying, I've just got my order here, got the Americano and a croissant. I think it's a croissant. Anyways, as I was saying, I believe that anxiety, number one, is a physiological state, so an energy in the body. And I read like a while ago, maybe a year ago somewhere, or a sheikh saying that jinns and other demons that possess people, it's sort of an energy, and that energy itself sometimes is misread as anxiety. So one scientist had a look at people with anxiety, the adrenaline rush, the energy sort of fluctuations in the brain, the way the blood moves and things. It became evident that it's a bit of the electromagnetic range. So they see sort of synapses that react in an electrical sense, and it basically goes from your brainstem, different regions in your brain, down to your spine, your chest. So thinking about it, it's literally a energy charge, which is basically, you can basically say electric in a sense. So because of that, anxiety is a way that you're basically, I can't even say your soul, but I can say your chest bone here, the makeup within your chest here, so the nerves, the veins, the adrenaline that shoots right here, along with the vagus nerve, your brain stem. So all of that is charged up, and the discomfort and the way that you think feed into this energy. And the more wood for the fire, the more that fire will rage and cause more symptoms, such as when you shake, when you stutter, when all in all you start to sweat, all those major symptoms of anxiety. And I had a thought yesterday, and our thought was, is there any way to actually release this from somebody's body, like myself, for example? Like if I was to maybe accept it so much, open up my chest, and stay with all the symptoms and let it burst. Each person with anxiety fears something. Someone fears dying, someone fears like their heart is gonna pop out their chest, someone fears they're gonna have a stroke. I had a thought that if we just let the body literally open up and embrace everything, for as long as possible and do it in repetitive orders, hopefully, I think you might reach a point where you could sort of expose yourself internally to the external. Like, there's a side that's within everybody, and that side is called the nervous side or the discomforting side. So for me, whenever I get anxious or I'm about to perform in any sort of place or in front of somebody that's important or somebody that I like, that side is what basically drives the nerves for me. So I'll talk and then I'll feel like I'm out of breath, so that classic symptom. But then if I stay with that, that same mode I'm in without running away, will come a sigh. And that sigh is like, it's like whenever you're crying, like whenever you see children crying, they sob and they take in that deep breath. It's that sort of sigh. So letting that sigh out, and also doing cold showers and going for cold walks, just letting discomfort overtake you and opening up to that discomfort, just leaning into it. I think it might literally open up that chest area that was tight before, and also make known to your brain that discomfort is nothing to run away from. So in essence, we're all choosing comfort over anything that feels discomforting. So anxiety is extremely uncomfortable. We all run away from it. And the people that actually lean towards it are the people that don't experience as much anxiety. Or those that did experience it, they overcome it. That's exactly what's taught. That's what my coach taught me. So that's something I was thinking about yesterday. So leaning into it, doing anything that's extremely discomforting, and diving right into the heart of anxiety. I think that's the way to open up the feelings in your chest, and in turn your brain will register that there's nothing scary out there, nothing will go wrong, because you've now dived right into the heart of things, and then you'll be able to rewire your whole nervous system. So the way the normal orthodox way of recovery works is doing sort of small steps towards recovery daily. That could be when you sit with a panic attack. Now that's basically textbook, and I definitely advise you should do that. And other things as sitting with intrusive thoughts and staying in a location where you were anxious a few more seconds, and just small things like that. So I think that's like minor steps towards the same goal, but if you do it in a much more deep way that will hit your chest and the way you think, I think it's much easier to overcome all of this. So you'll be able to not skip the process, but do all of the steps combined, and also teaching your nervous system and your brain that you're more than capable to just face all of this at one go, and you're going to have a much more stronger momentum. Now, I didn't do this myself. It's a realization that I had yesterday. Like, why am I doing all of this in such a slow motion way? I'm seeing good results, don't get me wrong. But how about I open up my chest, engulf it all, take it all in, and what's the worst that can happen? We've already been doing things like that in such a small doses. If you do it in a much bigger scale, I think you'll be able to one time just expand your chest. And don't get me wrong, you have to keep doing this, like maybe several times before it's now your new physiological state. So you do it one time, after a few minutes or so, when it's all done, you might have a slight constriction, or you might sort of go back into your shell, but that's natural. And then you do it again, and then maybe on the 10th time or something, it just becomes natural for you, and you now basically become fearless.